and my YouTube channel at the same time, but I kept getting some denials, so I'm going to work on that later. We're going to go ahead and go live here. I'm going to turn on the Math Flip Flap Frenzy song because it sounds just way too quiet in this room. So we're going to create some things. We're starting a new game today. So we're going to be working on our 221B version, which I've discovered has more benefits than I realized when I wrote it. So let's just flip the camera, and if I can know how to do that on here. Let's see. Some way. There it is. Okay, I have to click. There we go. Okay, it's going to be a new learning experience on this new streaming platform that I have never used before. So I'm sure I'll get better at it as we go along. Ooh, look at that. I can zoom in a little more. I don't know that that's great. I might have to go further away. Look at that. I can be further from the platform. All right, here we go. So we are starting a new version. If you have not joined me live before, let me just explain to you what's happening. So we have a game that was written by me for students to help close the learning gap. So the thing that I've discovered while I was teaching, that the basic math skills are something that students are struggling with the most. And according to the statistics that we've discovered, there are 50 million students that are struggling in math. And that really has to do with what happened with COVID. COVID put all these kids behind because they didn't get the opportunity to go to school, and self-teaching themselves at home just did not work. So there's a huge learning gap for fluency. Now, this game I wrote actually as a result of having a course that we were offering our students at White Cliffs Middle School to help close the learning gap. This is them playing the game just for the cover. So I created this game while I was teaching and came up with lots of different variations, which is fantastic for differentiated instruction. So it became Math Flip Flap Frenzy. And in this book, there are all of the variations. You can see there's mystery cards, rounds, and the grade level. So this game is suited for grade 6 and up. This one is great for grade 6 and up. And then if you get to the beginning of the book, for kindergarten and up. So it really depends on their skill level. And the perfect thing about the book too, this is grades 3 and up. Really, that would be, second graders could probably be successful at that. And then grades 4th and up, this is because we're starting to get into multiplication. And then we get into everyone uses the same rule. This was created to show that even if you have the same numbers, you can have a completely different equation. And then we also have the one that gets really complicated, not complicated, but more advanced for those skill learners, the extra fun version, where they get to use negative numbers, exponents, and have certain rules about if you roll a 0, if you roll a 1 or a 2, that you have to use it as an exponent. Now, there's also samples of the score sheets, one for everything, but the great thing that I also know that as a teacher, I needed a place for kids to track their numbers, track their work. So I created the score sheet book. So they have, in here, there are 32 copies of each basic version. So the kids can play the same game 32 times. I created this so that really you could do one workbook or one score sheet book for 8 kids. Or 4 kids, they could play 8 times, or 8 kids, they could play 2 times, however many you want to do it, how many times for each game. So we're going to be working on the 221 version of the game today. So I'll start I was just tearing these out, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to leave them in here. It's easier to track the work. So we'll be working in the 221 version of the game, and we'll have 4 players. The Shut the Box has enough room for 4 players. Now, the good thing about Math Flip Flap Frenzy is that you don't have to have everybody playing the same version. You could have maybe the kindergartners, if you are playing this at home and you have a kindergartner, you could have them play the A basic version. And then as you have your age group in your family, usually a little tiered, then maybe the kindergartners are playing the A version. And then you have your second or third graders. You can move them up to the 221 version. And then you have your fourth and fifth grade. If you have a varied family like that, they could be playing the 0 version. If you have an even more advanced skill level at home, we have the Score Sheet Book 2. And you can start with the doubles version. This was where you get the opportunity to use mystery cards. And then we have everyone rolls the same. And then extra fun version, which is where we get to, so if you have kids at home or in the classroom that are very advanced in their skills, they could be playing this one while your kindergartners are playing the A basic version or the 221. So everyone can play at the same time with the goal of using your skill level to flip down the flaps on the box. Okay. So here we go. We're going to be playing the 221 version today for students to learn how variables work, really. And I'll explain the rule of the game. Now, in the Level Up instruction book, and this really was created, I found this pub game, and there are really no instructions of, this is such a great learning tool, and nothing out there. I'm the only one that has created something to really use this Shut the Box in a very educational manner. So in here, we have the rules for 221. So let's just look at the beginning of the book. 221, that's the 0. Okay, what does it even mean? Where did I come up with 221? 221 is simply, we're going to use 4 standard 6-sided dice of 2 different colors. Then as we get more advanced in our rolls, we're going to add in maybe 2 10-sided dice of 2 different colors. Instead of changing all of the dice, we'll keep 2 of the 6-sided dice in 2 different colors, and then add in the 10-sided. So we set all the things up, and then all the flaps are up on the box, and then they're going to roll all 4 of the dice, and the same colored dice are recorded on the score sheet with the results. So color 1 and color 2. And then you're going to create an equation. So an equation using color 1, and then an equation using color 2, and the result of that, add or subtract them to decide to determine the number that's going to be flipped. So let's just give it a whirl. Here we go. I chose 2 different dice like this, so you can see that some dice come with pips on them, and some dice comes with numbers on them. I prefer for the younger students that they have dice that have the pips on them because they can use them as counting tools like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where this just has the number. But I thought we would be fun to play 1 of each color with numbers and 1 with pips. So let's just roll this out and start with player number 1 to begin the game. Now, in the score sheet book, they're going to write down what the numbers are on the dice for the colors. So you can see here we have a 5 and a 2 and a 6 and a 2. So they can decide over here if they want to put down what color it was, they can do that. If they just want to put, it doesn't really matter which one is first or second. So let's just do this. So we have color 1 with a 5 and a 2, or color 2 with a 6 and a 2. Now, what happens with these? So the 5 and the 2 become one equation. So they can add or subtract 5 plus 2, or add or subtract on the second color 6 plus 2, or 6 minus 2. So I left the backs of these score sheets are blank so that you as a teacher can track the work. If you're a homeschool teacher, you can track their work, or it's just a great way to elevate your thinking because you have to do different equations with, let me make sure this is on the camera. It's a little, okay. There we go. Here we go. Okay. 5 and a 2 and a 6 and a 2. So we have to keep those numbers separate because we have color 1. We'll say, what color is this today? Purple and blue. Okay, so the purple dice have to be added or subtracted together, and the blue dice have to be added or subtracted together. So we have 5 plus 2 or 5 minus 2. So that's going to equal 7 or 3. Now this one you have to add or subtract 6 plus 2, which equals 8, or 6 minus 2, which equals 4. Now, the great thing about this is now the students have already done 4 equations. We haven't flipped down a flap yet, because now you're going to start to decide what do you want to do with these numbers. So it has to be the blue dice adding or subtracting the red die or the purple dice, and vice versa. Okay, so let's start over here. We can't do 7 minus 8 because that would be negative, but we could do 7, and we can't add 7 plus 4 because that would be 11, because we can only do 1 through 10. So the first one we can do is 5 plus 2 minus 6 minus 2 equals. Now, they have to stay as pairs, so you have to teach them to put these parentheses in. So now we have 7 minus 4 equals 3. So when they're writing them in their equations in the book, they're going to want to write put the parentheses in. Now, what else can we do? We could do 8 minus 7. So we could do 6 plus 2 minus 5 plus 2 equals 1. Now we could do 8 minus this one. So we could do 6 plus 2 in parentheses, because those have to stay together, minus 5 minus 2 equals, now we have 8 minus 3 is 5. It's important that one of the rules in the book is that you have to say the equations out loud. This is very important because stating your equations out loud has very high impact for fluency and memory, because they've said it out loud, they're going to remember it better. Now, one other equation we could do, we can't do 4 minus 7, but we could do the 4 minus 3. So we could do 6 minus 2 minus 5 minus 2. So 4 minus 3 equals 1. So we just did the opposite of that. Could we do 4 plus 7? No, because it would be too much. So these would be the equations that player number 1 could write. So now they get to choose, do I want to put down the 3, the 5, or the 1? So let's go with, and then I would always have the students circle which equation you're going to use and then transfer that to the front score page. So we're going to do the 6 plus 2. Ooh, that one came out. 6 plus 2 in parentheses minus 5 minus 2 minus parentheses 5 minus 2 equals, now we could say 8 minus 3 equals 5, and the number flipped is going to be the 5. So that's how that works. You have to do 2 opposite colors. So now you're really looking at variables. You could add or subtract. You could add or subtract depending on what the answers or the numbers that you rolled are. Okay, let's go to player 2. Player 2. Now, I didn't put in the beginning the date, and we are on, can you believe it, September 1st of 25. And the objective is to flip all flaps down using pairs of numbers to add or subtract. Okay, that's good. To add or subtract. Okay, player 2, your role for today. I'm trying to get this connected to where I can be live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, but I'll work on that later today. Okay, this player has a 6 and a 4 and a 6 and a 4. So those two have to stay together, and these two stay together. So player 2 has a 6 and a 4 and a 6 and a 4. So you put down the color 6-4 and a 6-4, and you go to work on the back of the page. But we're going to go ahead and go to player number 3. Player 3. Now, when you first roll out the game, you make sure the students or yourself at home put the date on it so you know when you started the game, how long it took you to complete a version of the game, and the objective. Flip down. And you're supposed to start these I can statements, because I can do this. I can flip down all numbers on the box using pairs of numbers to add or subtract. By, and you could put by, adding or subtracting? Okay, just depends. There's lots of ways. There's no specific way that you have to write that, but just so that you know the objective. As you get into more advanced versions, you need to remind yourself of, can I add, subtract, and multiply and divide, or is this only adding and subtracting? So we know we're using pairs by adding or subtracting them. Okay, now, player 3, your role for today. 5, 3, and a 3, 1. 5, 3, and a 3, 1. Okay, 5, 3, 3, 1. 5, 3, and a 3, 1. Doesn't matter which color comes first. It just has to do them as colors. So 5, 3, and a 3, 1. Now let's go ahead and move over to player 4. We can come back and do some of this work for the other players. But if you happen to know some equations that you could write, go ahead and put those in the comment box so that we can teach other people how to use these pairs of numbers. So same thing, player 3 or 4, 9, 1 of 25, and I can flip down all numbers on the box using pairs by adding and subtracting. I kind of ran out of room, so I'll just make it small. Okay. Now, let's roll for this player. Player number 4, your role for today is, can you even see all that? Okay. 6 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1. 6, 1, 2, 1 for player 4. And we'll start with the 2, 1 because I've been doing purple first, and a 6, 1. So now, like I said, on the back, we're going to take those pairs of colors and do the work on the back. So player 1 is already finished with their work. I'll do one more player. Let's do player 2 with the 6, 4, 6, 4. Roll number 1, always have the students circle that. So to get up here a little bit. 6, 4, and a 6, 4. So those pairs have to stay together. So 6 plus 4 equals 10, and 6 minus 4 equals 2. And it's going to be the same thing over here because you have the same numbers again. So 10 and 6 minus 4 is 2. So the only thing really that can happen is going to be the 10 minus 2 or the 10 minus 2. I do the crisscross because we can't do 10 minus 10 and we can't do 2 minus 2 because those would equal 0. So the only equation that can be done, which is odd, is 6 plus 4 in parentheses minus 6 minus 4 equals, so now we have 10 minus 2 equals 8. And even though there would be more equations that could be done, unfortunately, the only equation that can be created that equals a number that you can flip down is that one. Now, you could show the students, they could go ahead and show their work, especially when you're trying to minus 6 plus 4 equals 0. If you did 6 minus 4 minus 6 minus 4, so that would be 2 minus 2, that was equal 0 again. That way the students are still showing their work to show that there's only really one thing, one answer that could be used to flip a flap on the box. So it's going to be an 8 for this player. So you can go ahead and write down 6 plus 4 minus 6 minus 4 equals 8. And so the number flipped is going to be the 8. And that is how that works to score it. So you can keep track. It's a great tool for differentiation. It's a great bell work tool because you can check and see what they've done. It doesn't take a long time, and it's rather engaging because they get to create their own equations. Okay, I have already misplaced the one that fell out. I used to cut these out. I'm going to leave them in here this time. That's it for version B today. We'll continue the work for the 221 tomorrow and finish up the other two players. If you happen to have the, if you could put the comments in there and do one of the numbers that we just rolled, that would be great. I'd love to see your comments. Now we're moving over to continue our play on the doubles version of the game that we started a few days ago. Here we go. In the doubles game now, we have different colored dice. It doesn't matter what kind. They are all 10-sided dice. This is leveling up your play. This is adding in something to make the game more fun. It's an advanced version of the zero version because now if you roll doubles, like the double threes, you get to draw a mystery card and then perform the consequence on the box. The consequence. If it's a consequence, it might be a bonus that you can use. Let's see, on this one. I'm going to do an equation really quick here. 2 divided by 1 plus 1 plus 2 times 0 equals 3. So this player is going to flip down the 3. I forgot to do work on this player yesterday, so this is going to flip down the 3 for this player. And the only one down is numbers 1 and 3. So player number 2 has down a 3 and a 1. Here we go, the roll for the day. Now, hopefully, this player so far has had doubles every single turn. So let's see today. And yet again, more doubles. 3, 3, and a 7 and a 6. That's what makes it fun because you want to have a mystery card. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they make you do silly things, and sometimes they make you put flaps up. And sometimes you trade places or you play rock, paper, scissors. We're going to find out what kind of mystery card we get today. So we're going to circle that. That lets you know that you're going to be drawing a mystery card, and then you track what the mystery card is over here in the mystery card box. So let's see what kind of mystery card is up for this player. Ooh, touch your toes 5 times without bending your knees. Okay, I'm going to do it. Touch my toes 5 times without bending my knees. I got this. I'm not going to be able to show you because the camera's locked. Oh, I'm sore from all my exercise yesterday. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And students love to do things like that because they can laugh and poke fun with their friends. All right, so we have the 3, 3, 7, and 6. So as before, the back of the score sheet is blank, which leads to a great spot for tracking the equations because there are so many variables that can happen now. And we had I've already messed up the dice on the other side. 3, 3, 7, 6. Yes. 3, 3, 7, and 6. Now, if you're really, depending what skill you're working on in the classroom or at home, or if you want to give bonus points for certain things, you can require multiplication and division. So here's one that you could do. 7 times 3 divided by 3. What happens there? All the multiplication and division first. So 7 times 3, 21, divided by 3 is still 7. And then we could subtract 6 from that would equal 1. Now the player already has a 1, but it just shows that they use multiplication and division. Even if they don't choose that equation, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, what if we did 6 times 3 minus 7? Now we have 18 minus 7. We're at 11. And we have one more 3 left. 11 minus 3 equals 8. Now, I don't need parentheses at all because I've done 6 times 3, multiplication and division first, and then adding and subtracting at the end. So that one equals 8. Now, what else can be done? This is prime numbers. These 3 are prime numbers, so not a lot of things that can happen there. Although we can do 6 is divisible by 3, just meaning I know that 2 times 3 equals 6. So what if I did 6 divided by 3? That takes care of one of those, so that would be 2. And then Maybe I need to have the 7 over here. I'm going to have to subtract that. 7 minus 2 is 5 minus 3. Okay, we have to do this first, so we know that's 2. 7 minus 2 is 5 minus 3 equals 2. So look at that. Just by rearranging the numbers, we already have 3 different outcomes and different flaps that can be flipped down on the box. The 1 is already done for this player, and we used a division question, a division here. And then, let's see, 7 minus 6 divided by 3 is 5 minus 3. We couldn't do anything else because it equaled 5. What if we did 7 minus 6? That's 1. Plus 3 divided by 3 equals 7 minus 6 is 1 plus 1 equals 2. A different way, and you divided a different number that way. So I think we're going to go ahead and stick with the 8 for this player. 6 times 3 minus 7 minus 3. So 6 times 3, 6 times 3 minus, now this is player 2 because they had to trade places earlier. 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3 equals 8. Now say the equation out loud. 6 times 3 is 18 minus 7 minus 3 equals 8. So 18 minus 7 is 11 minus 3 equals 8. So the number flipped down is the 8. Okay, now we're going to go on and let the rest of the players, just because we have to do that before the next player rolls in case they get a mystery card. Now, let's look and see what's happening for the next player. And look at that. Double zeros for the new player number 1. 0, 0, and an 8 and a 4. 0, 0, 8, 4. Now, because they're doubles, like here, you have to circle. You rolled a double, so it is going to be a... This was on the wrong player yesterday. Okay, this will be... I forget to write those numbers down. I did not write down the numbers from yesterday. So this is actually roll number 4. So that one I'll have to fix. 0052. Let's draw the mystery card. 0, 0. And it is. Bark one time like a dog. Oh my goodness. That wasn't a very good bark. I thought maybe my dog would come running in here, but he did not. So one time. And I had to put one time on there because I had students that just wanted to bark like a dog all day after they drew the bark like a dog. So we had to squash that. Let's see. I did forget to write that player down. I'll have to look that up on the video tomorrow. And 0052, they'll have to do that unless player 4 does not roll doubles. Let's see, before we move on, here we have doubles today. We do have doubles. Every player, again, gets doubles. So 9942. With that being said, 9942. Now, the thing is that you have to draw the mystery card before 942. This player has had doubles on every roll so far. But you have to do the mystery card before you create your equation, because sometimes whatever's on the mystery card might cause some frenzy. And let's see if we have any frenzy today. Nothing. We get a give the person on your right a high five. So very easy thing to do in the classroom and very easy thing to do at home when you're playing. So that is all. No consequences in the mystery cards today that caused any frenzy. But can you believe that? Everybody got to roll, that rolled got doubles. So we're going to go ahead and do just a few more equations with the 9942. The thing about the 9942, put that here, number 4, 9942. The 4 and 2 are divisible. So 4 is divided by 2, so that's easy enough. And 9 divided by 9, you could do 9 times 9, but there's no way to get it back to equal 1 through 10. So you could do 9 divided by 9 equals 1, plus 4 plus 2. Now, I'm going to show you all kinds of equations that happen just by doing this. 9 divided by 9, again, plus 4 minus 2. 9 divided by 9, plus 4 times 2, right? 9 divided by 9 plus 4 divided by 2, which is going to be the same as subtracting, right? Now, let's do the answers. 9 divided by 9 is 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 4 is 5 minus 2 equals 3. Not 1 plus 8. Oh, we can't do that one. Can't do that one. Yes, we can. 1 plus 8. My bad. Equals 9. So, I don't know what I was thinking. 9 divided by 9. I was thinking 9 is what I was thinking. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So now we have the answers are a 7, a 3, a 9, and a 3. And that's only by doing 9 divided by 9. What if we did all of this again, but over here we just did 9 minus 9 4 times? So here's the thing that is so great about this game is because look at all these equations. And if we went back and just did 4 plus 2 plus 4 minus 2, if we just repeated the equations, plus 4 times 2 plus 4 divided by 2. Now, we have 0. That's going to equal 6. That one's going to be 2 because these are 0. This one's going to be 8. And this one's going to be 2. Now look, we have a 3, 7, 9, 6, 8. Look at all the variations of equations that were done just by changing one operation. And that is so valuable as you get further into your math skills in upper grades, but in chemistry and coding and everything else, just by changing one thing, what can happen. So very valuable tool to be able to choose a flap to go down. Now, let's look and see what's already been flipped down on the front here. This player already has down a 3, a 9, a 5, and a 10. So they're not going to choose anything that equals a 3, a 9, 3 or a 9. So it could choose any of the other equations. And I'll let player 4 decide what they want to flip down. So this is the first chance that I've been trying to go live on YouTube. So had a little bit of a learning curve here. And we'll get better. I was trying to connect Facebook and YouTube to go at the same time, which would be super cool. I have the tool for it, but I couldn't quite get it connected today. So tomorrow I'll be able to be live on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. Hope you had a good time. And hey, get your copy of the game. It's not expensive. You need to get a book. You need a score sheet book. Get your level up book, which has all the instructions. Get your score sheet book. You could do the advanced version or the basic version, and get yourself a game that has all the cool dice and the mystery cards. It's not a huge investment, and you know what? It's fun to play, and you're learning at the same time, and you're sharpening up your math skills the same times as your kids. And you know what's super cool? Kids love seeing parents doing math. They really love when grandmas are doing math. They're like, wow, grandma knows that? That's so cool. So use this game. Build your fluency. Practice your math skills. And, calculate every day. It's easy to do, and it's inexpensive. Just as well have a copy. If you already own a Shut the Box game, it's even better. Just get the books and the dice and the mystery cards that go with it. So just a great opportunity for you to expand thinking for kids and close this learning gap. Can't wait to see you tomorrow as we go live every day and do some roles. We'll be thinking about how we can integrate math skills into everyday thinking. And don't forget, right over here, we have kids who are needing it. If you know a classroom or you know any students that are struggling with math, it's usually a fluency issue. So it is, and that's what this does. It's really, really critical thinking skills. Just get them a copy of the game. I know when I was first becoming a parent, I remember the first thing I asked for was learning toys for my kids when they were born, because I didn't want them just, wasting their mind. So I'm like, I only want learning toys. So learning toys, this is a learning game. So get a copy, give it to your grandparent, or give it to your own children if you have kids at home. That's it for today. And as always, I will see you on the flip.